Sit down. Sit down. I'm just kidding. Happy to see so many people here. Makes me very happy. I would like to call February 13th meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge and the invocation.
States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Sal.
Bow our heads. Father God, thank you once again for entrusting us with your town. I ask that you give us your wisdom and discernment to make the best decisions for our citizens. And may you put a hedge of protection around our police department, all our staff, and all our citizens. May we honor you in all we say this evening. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Thank you, Sal. Please. Commissioner McMullen. Commissioner Pollan.
Here.
Commissioner Ramos.
Present.
Vice Chair.
President.
Mayor Skirk. Oh, here. All right, well, we have some very positive presentations. This is why we see so many officers here and police department folks. So I will turn it over to the chief and let him take it from here.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, thank you very much for allowing me to steal a few minutes of your time. This is like the best part of the year for us, for sure. And I just wanted to share it with all of y'all. I know we did some award presentations in the past, but there's a couple of awards that were decided by the awards committee that were given for the fourth quarter of 2023, and that's what these are for. The first one is for Patrol Officer of the Year, and that's Officer Anthony Edwards. If he was come up. You. A little bit about Officer Edwards and some of the things he's done. We would be here all night if I would spell it all out, but I don't want to do that. He has taken extreme initiative to oversee a lot of the traffic enforcement needs. And as you know, we get a lot of traffic complaints here in the town. Officer Edwards has his passion, one of his passions is DUI and traffic enforcement. He has taken it upon himself to head up a lot of the traffic enforcement efforts that you see here in the town. He also oversees the calibration of all the lasers, radars, and all the vehicles. So he makes sure that every officer in the department knows what day to be there, have their equipment there to make sure that it stays within compliance. He joined a local law enforcement area network on traffic enforcement. He attends meetings and participates in traffic fatality data reviews, click it or ticket, Operation Southern Slowdown, drive sober or get pulled over, and school bus and school safety zone enforcement. He is very, very good, especially in the school zone, keeping the students safe. He may have actually pulled me over once. He took it upon himself. He didn't take it thankfully, but it was, we got a new car and he wasn't moving with the new car. He took it upon himself to create a common phrases in Spanish pamphlet for all the officers to keep in their cars. So when we interact with people that may not speak English, it makes it easier for law enforcement to safely communicate with people that are their primary language is Spanish. He completed a difficult traffic homicide investigator school, very, very, very hard. It's an intense school, and now he is certified to investigate. Should unfortunately we experience a traffic homicide up on 50, we no longer have to. Somebody else can do that, and that was probably out of all of his accomplishments, that's the most important. That's very, very difficult. He became a law enforcement vehicle operations instructor, wanted to instruct the rest of the agency on safe driving and things like that, and he organized annual training. After going through the instructor course, he organized a great 8-hour law enforcement vehicle operations course, which we will all be going through during 2024 to keep our standards. He volunteered to be the point person for the installation and operation of the new laptops that you all approved for us. Those things wouldn't be in our cars without him and his leadership and willingness to step up. He remains an active field training officer, and as you've seen, some new staff coming in throughout the year, he is critical in training these new officers. All 3 recruits that recently came in, each one of them went through his car at some point in their training. So really, really good. He was voted by the committee to receive, because of all these and more, to receive the Officer of the Quarter Award. And I'm just gonna piggyback on that. The two officers for Q3 and Q4, he was also voted as. So we'll give him both of the awards here at this time, so I have to repeat all those great things plus more. As you know, from the Officer of the Quarter, he gets the light that I presented last quarter. So you get that. And then he also gets a certificate that we will present him for the Officer of the Fourth Quarter. But as an added bonus, which nobody knows about, but myself and Stacy Quinn. As you know, when I got hired here, Law Enforcement Memorial is something near and dear to my heart, having lost a partner in the line of duty. And I feel every officer should go to Washington and spend Police Week and see the events for National Peace Officer Memorial Day. So I have found the money, and we're going to send Officer Edwards to Washington so he can go see Police Week. Oh, he had 30 minutes to give a speech. No, I'm kidding.
Please.
So,
We're the only one pulling you over.
and as an added surprise, Officer Edwards, his mother drove down from Virginia just to see this presentation. So that's. Well, it's that.
A smile.
That is his smile. So that wraps up those two awards, Officer of the Quarter for Fourth Quarter 23 and Officer of the Year for 2023. So
Right?
yes, we will. You want me to present all of them and then we can knock out the pictures together?
You want to do all the pictures at once?
That's what I figured.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up, Reynolise Rojas and Samaria Lake, Community Service Awards. So both officers, Rojas and Lake, they do the same thing differently, independent of each other and together. Talk about a couple of things. They've been exceptionally generous to the community, to the residents here in Oakland, independent of each other as well as together. At Christmas time, Officer Rojas, especially, I noticed we had some gifts left over that were donated last year. She found a family over at Johns Lake Motel and went over and found the kids, provided them with a bunch of gifts that they were not going to afford. To include bicycles, 2 bicycles. I mean, she really made an impact on those kids' lives. And that's not an isolated incident. That's what she does on a daily basis when she comes to work. They regularly visit residents at their homes, in parks, things that are beyond routine patrol. It's been known to have a pickleball match or two break out from time to time, with some intense competition coming from the police department. Like I said, at the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, they provided gifts, they provided food to families who would benefit, clothing. I know both officers were from their own pockets. They did not do this through the police department. Just out of the goodness of their own hearts, they went and purchased clothing for some children who needed it, without me knowing. I didn't find out about some of this until weeks after. Many of the donations have been provided, each officer, like I said, out of their own bank accounts, not from our budget. Officer Rojas continually volunteering to cover at the school, from patrol whenever we need it. And should you know that she is a reserve, her primary job, she does taxes. So you know this part of the year is not easy for her. She's working all the time. She actually finds the time to come here and fulfill and help us with our needs in patrol and at the school and things like that. Both officers didn't hesitate to volunteer for Shop of the Cop, this was the first year we ever did that. And it was extremely successful. Officer Lake dressed up as the Oakland PD elf, as you can see there on the screens. And just her smile is infectious. Her willing to help out with the kids and the community is so good, and it's such an example to be set for others. As you can see on the picture on the right, for Halloween, we went and delivered candy to the kids at the charter school, and she dressed up as Spider-Man. The picture is kind of small, but kids couldn't believe it that Spider-Man was walking in their school giving them candy. It was phenomenal. Both officers are quick to take time to make the Oakland community a better place and represent the agency with nothing but pure professionalism. And for that, both officers have been given the Community Service Award. You have some certificates. It's Edward's other one. That is not used. Oh. Wait. No. Wow. Thank you. And last but not least, certainly, Distinguished Employee of the Year award is usually an award that you would give to one employee who stands out above all others, and this year it was a tie. We just can't pick one, so Kelly Sims and Stacy Quinn, both, if you guys would come forward. They were nominated and accepted as the Distinguished Employees of the Year. I'll go over each one of them separately. I can't say enough about both of them. They really do make my job easier, and they keep this department running. There's nobody in uniform makes this place tick like they do. Stacey Quinn, some of the things that she's able to do, she reviews and handles all administrative aspects of the police department. She reviews all arrest paperwork and ensures that it's delivered to the state attorney's office in a timely manner. She makes sure that the schedule is complete, so we have adequate staffing on the streets every day, both sworn and civilian schedules. She fills all public records requests that come in. And we get a lot of those just for traffic crashes and things like that, things that just take time. She ensures that all agency members are current on their FDLE required training to make sure that certifications stay current, which is super important. If you don't have somebody to do that, you often get decertified and we can't employ them anymore. She makes sure that everybody is checking all the boxes that we need to. She serves as the chairperson for the awards committee. She did not nominate herself for this award.
You smile.
I don't know why I put this one so deep into it. It's very, very important. She processes all payroll for police department. She enrolls all officers in training courses. Anybody that wants to go to training, she makes sure that they're where they need to be, when they need to be there. She maintains all confidential employee information and other records which are kept on file with the agency. She acts as the point person for as the agency transitions to a new CAD and RMS system, which we're currently undergoing. She registers every vehicle, renews the confidential status of the tags, and makes sure that every car has the e-pass in the cars and all that good stuff. She maintains my schedule to make sure that I make all engagements when I'm supposed to be there, which is important. And I'm telling you, it's like her having a small puppy. I don't listen. Sometimes she has to hit me with a newspaper in the nose, but I get the message. She attends bi-weekly meetings as a part of the executive staff and takes an active role in forward progress of the agency. There is no doubt. She doesn't hesitate to assist in the planning and attendance of all the community events. She was at the 5K, Heritage Day, Thanksgiving food drive. She organized Shop with the Cops. She was there checking in all the families. It doesn't stop. Overall, Stacey Quinn, I wrote, is one of the most valuable assets. I'm going to change that. She is the most valuable asset this department has. And I could not perform my duties as chief of police without her. So that's with all that and more, she has been awarded the Distinguished Employee of the Year. Save the trouble for last. Kelly Sims, a tremendous asset to the agency as well. Like I said, it's a tie, her and Stacy. She takes on many administrative responsibilities with little or no supervision needed. She gets out in front of things. She sees what needs to be done and she takes care of it. Some of the examples of her work, she prepares all the grant applications and makes sure that we get a lot of grant funding that we normally would not get if she wasn't here paying attention to that. We're able to outfit. When I got here, there were officers wearing bulletproof vests that were 5, 7, 8 years expired. Kelly has been instrumental in that. Now every officer in this department has a current vest and the government pays for 50% of it. Without her, we wouldn't have that funding. She was able to help us get the grants for Narcan, different technology for fraud investigations, and the new Oakland side-by-side, which was approved. That a $35,000 asset to help us through natural disasters, hurricanes, things like that. We'll be taking delivery of that towards the middle to end of the year. We wouldn't have that without her. It's phenomenal. She serves as the quartermaster, completing an inventory of all the equipment the agency has. We recently discovered that we did not have an accurate inventory of what this department had. She took it upon herself to do it, and we're purchasing we have purchased some high-tech software to help us with that. So now every officer, as they get issued equipment, We have a method of them signing it out and tracking it, knowing what each person has. She orders all equipment as needed. She answers all the Oakland Partners calls every morning. So when the Oakland Partners call in, she's that voice on the other end of the phone. They love it. They love to talk with her. I hear her out there while I'm making my coffee, trying to not be angry. She does really, really good things with Oakland Partners. She handles all the social media. Those of you that are following our social media on the PD, all those graphics and pictures and all that, that's her and Stacy together. But she literally does that all the time. She oversees the vehicle fleet, ensuring all repairs are completed and that we're not getting ripped off. All vehicle repairs have to go through her. She's constantly engaged with all community events, just like Stacy Quinn. She helps organize and attended the 5K, Heritage Day, Thanksgiving food drive, shop with a cop, etc. And there are so many more things about both Kelly and Stacy that I would love to say to contribute to this agency as well as the town. But in the interest of time, I'm just pleased to present both of them with the Distinguished Employee of the Year awards.
That's.
It's maybe it's a sign of the chief. They're not happy. I don't know. Bless you. I don't know.
Happy they're just
No, I'm kidding.
serious.
This is very serious.
Hitting with the paper, you have to say.
There's nothing that, I personally, Mayor, personally could say thank you enough for all that the police department does for us. And for the folks in the.
And I think we all feel that way. You guys have, it just keeps getting better and better. This is how much you guys are thought of with every resident that we talk to. Staff, we don't go anywhere other than the people that get stopped like you for speeding stuff. That aren't so complimentary about what you guys all do.
You know, you all should get an award up with the chief.
Want to do a group photo and then. Okay, very good. Great.
Want to take them too? Take the photo of the town.
Who's the chief settle down, we'll be able to take care of it.
Yeah. That's good, go ahead. Smile. Is it? It's not the same. Yeah. You doing? You got one more?
What's it? I got it on here.
Thank you all.
Who's speaking? Maybe speaking.
Yeah.
Never know why.
There they are.
Parking lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okey dokey. We've had some people join us, so welcome, welcome. We are at public forum, so if there is anyone here who wishes to speak on something that is not already, and if you would, Nancy, you would sit down, that'd be great. Sure. Thanks.
See, Brian.
Yeah, I know. Speak on something that's not already on the agenda. You got 3 minutes or so. I know you're a preacher, so that could be hard.
We know you're that creature.
That could be hard, but it's good to see you.
Just very appreciative of your service that you've given this town. And you are dearly appreciated, especially by me, so I give your hand back. To the commissioners, everyone here, we are grateful of the relationship as a church and as a pastor. And I just basically, I didn't know exactly specifically the details of a possible speed bump on our Star Street between ourselves and the church. Now, I just wanted to just share from that perspective. I talked with Nancy. I'm vulnerable when I back out of my driveway. I'm backing out into the highway. So that would kind of necessitate a speed bump, possibly somewhere on the other side of. Nancy's where the sign that says town block. Right, the sign that says that, but that's south of my driveway. And that's really the only one I would really somewhat consider, because I don't feel like going over a speed bump coming home. Going out, going over a speed bump, going out. Because once they're there, they're there. But that vulnerable position, backing out into the highway, into the road. A speed bump south of me would work, or at least get their attention, I think.
That was
Um,
on the new piece of Star you're talking.
Right.
Mike,
Behind the churches.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
we have had discussions about this, especially with Parker. And, I believe, I don't know what the timing of it is. I have asked them to come back with traffic calming device opportunities. Speed bumps, personally would not be my first choice. But, there are other things we can do to slow the traffic down. And that's a project that's being worked on. So Parker, when do you think we're going to talk about that?
Yeah, it was originally scheduled for tonight. We pulled it. Unfortunately, I didn't have an opportunity to deal with either of the residents. They were commented.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I think we have a schedule next. Yes. Commission meeting. Yeah. With a presentation. It's the year. You'll give us all the
Options.
Yeah. So.
Does that sound fair? Reverend Reeves?
Yes, it does.
Okay, we understand the need. We just want to make sure that we look at everything before we make a decision on something that's going to be there for quite some time.
Exactly.
But we're not denying the need. We know there's a need.
There are all alternatives, which I'm glad getting considered.
Mhm.
Been partners for quite some time with town of Oakland. And I appreciate it very, very much.
Oh,
Thank you for this opportunity.
absolutely. It's good to see you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to.
Thank you for your kind words. Anybody else want to talk about speed bumps?
Reiterate what Pastor said, which we live next door to each other. And
You see,
sorry,
people that come up, can you please make sure you sign in and
I did.
name and address for the record, please?
I did. Nancy Phillips, 125 Star Street. So, to just reiterate what Pastor Reeves and I have been enduring for the last year or so. My dog and I just got hit a couple of weeks ago. Pulling in the garbage can from the street. And when it was a dirt road, you know, there was not that issue because the pothole slowed them down. So that was the natural speed bump. What has happened is you've created a runway and even the police officers, sorry, don't obey the speed limit. The sign that says strictly enforced right there, at the three-way stop from Tractor Supply to, this Sadler, yeah, Sadler, okay. They rarely stop. And in defense to the police officers, they only have, I was told that they only have 2 police officers on duty at a time. So it's hard to control the school traffic and anything else that's going around, much less control the traffic nuisance that runs by my house. So in the effort of, you know, saving my dog's life and myself, and it's not really my dog, it's my son's dog, so there's that extra.
You'd be in big trouble.
And he's a surgeon, he could easily slice dice. So that being said, I don't know if you've driven down North Lakeview Avenue in Winter Garden. They've got some speed bumps there. They're highly effective.
Those are more like speed table.
Speed tables.
That's what we're,
Yeah, that's different than a
some of the studies that we want to bring back, see the alternatives of different kinds.
Be very effective. They'll jaw your bottom jaw, you know? So they seem to be highly effective in preventing. It's gotten ridiculous. I mean, in all hours of the day and night. So
I don't think that we would disagree with you in any way, shape or form.
I understand that. I just want to reiterate what Pastor Reeves said and to reiterate the importance. Because the last thing the town wants is a human death or a dog death on our horse. No, and it's gotten to that extreme. So the main perpetrators are the school moms and dads. So, and I mean, they continue to block the driveway and to the point where you can't get in your driveway.
Okay. Well, we're on it. We're working on it. Please come back in the next meeting and hopefully we'll have some good options.
I appreciate y'all's time and.
Thank you, Nancy.
Situation. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Reeves, too.
Thank you. And Mrs. Pastor Reeves.
It scares us without that. And that's why we don't stay long at different certain things. But we're still trying to be careful.
Fine.
There's nothing to excuse.
Okay, so we have one more taker. So you have to tell us who you are and what your address is.
John Hammerstein. I live at 306 East Vic Avenue, at the corner of Vic and Arrington. And I got to thank you too, Kathy, for your years of service here. And this
Being nice to me when I leave.
will be the first time I ever said this, Mayor Stark,
Thank you.
that phrase.
No, Mayor Stark.
Harrison. It's okay. You don't have to say it. But I appreciate all the kind words. I've been getting a lot of them lately.
Long time.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a topic of the dust on the roads, in particular, Arrington and Vic. Don't know the situation around town that has dust issues either. Of course, I live there. And honestly, at this point, it's intolerable. It's constant cleanup. It's constant. I mean, it could rain one day, and if it's a hot day, the next day it's blowing dusty. And I don't want to get off on the tangent of why we have the dust blowing up and all that, or what all those reasons. And the problem is the material, the dust, period. I also have a concern about the health issues with the dust. Don't know if there's any or not, but that's an issue for me. So what I'm asking is that, some form of investigation or committee or some process be put to find out how to do to mitigate the dust.
Yep.
I don't think the answers lie in, traffic control or any of those things, right? It's just the streets produce dust if you go over them. If you live south, dust is blowing this way. It's a big deal. It really is. I remember when we first moved here, if a car went down our road, real excited because we saw a car. Right?
Yep.
So that ain't that way now.
I know. I kind of gave Parker a heads up on this. And we definitely need to talk about, because it is, I mean, when it's dry like it is right now, it's awful. And we need to figure out if there's a better way to do this, but it's going to take us a little bit.
Right. And I'm not suggesting, oh, we got to pave them. I don't know what the answer is.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be gone in a
Has to
bit,
be.
but it's okay.
Still, to mitigate the dust every time even a bicycle runs down that road. If that's something I can participate in and be part of a group or whatever, I'm willing to do that. I certainly can't lead it. I don't have the expertise, but I have an opinion. So that's basically what I wanted to bring to the.
Well, I would like to do, Andy, is you and Parker put your heads together and think, and when do you think you can bring options back?
Sure.
Because it is true. I mean, I feel bad when I drive down a road and somebody's walking because I'm stirring up the dust. So I think it definitely deserves a look.
Good, thank you. How do I keep informed as to the progress or being back involved in the results or?
Andy, can you,
Yeah, let's,
who knows you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we just need to let you know when we've got something going.
yeah, get your contact information for Parker.
After the meeting.
That'll be fine.
Share it with
And then we'll
Okay.
keep you informed. Yes,
All
sir.
right, thank you, and thank you again, Kevin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I have just a couple of things and they're mostly just kind of comments. One, I also live kind of in that area and they just paved Star, and I mean, it's horrendous. It was horrendous with the speed with dirt. Now it's gonna be worse with the road. And then they put the stop sign, the three-way stop at Vic, and nobody stops at the one at Vandermeer and Star. So I know nobody's gonna stop at the one behind my house. In fact, I sat there today, recorded car after car after car, running the stop sign, running the stop sign. So it's absolutely constant. I mean, I can't say they don't tap the brake, but I'm pretty sure tapping the brake and kind of rolling through it is not a stop. And we do have a lot of, kids in the area or people walking, and it really has been super bad. The golf cart, the thing we talked about the last meeting or a couple of meetings ago with the golf carts, was that the new golf cart ordinance? Is it finished?
Like readings tonight.
Second readings tonight. Oh, I didn't get that far on the agenda. Okay, because I know there was that's kind of another issue I have, is that these golf carts, in fact, there's one that drives by my house. There is an adult lady in it, but there must be a kid like 5 or 6 years old driving it. And it just, every time I'm like, oh my God, this is, and coming from a fire department background, I've been on numerous people who have been severely injured and killed on golf carts, and people just think anything of it. And then I'm pretty sure golf carts can be ticketed just like cars can. So they're definitely not driving the speed. They're running the stop signs just like, everybody else. So it is an issue. The other thing that's kind of more important to me, when I look at We Are Oakland and I kind of try to read the comments, I saw somebody had responded or said something in there about septic tanks and they wanted to know, it was the thing about, I think, Winter's Landings and the issues that go on there.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me start to think, because I remember several meetings ago, Parker talked about the new septic tank law that went into effect in 23 and 24 that required some nourishing septic system or whatever, anything that's new, which I know they're very expensive to do that. So from now on, anybody's septic tank fails has to put in that more expensive system. But then I started doing more research and it said by 2030 that everybody was going to be required to change out if you don't have that kind of system. So I didn't see anything in there about grandfathering in people, if their septic systems were okay. So that kind of leads me to wonder, I know it's going to be years before we get sewer, but is that just an ongoing project that is still happening?
It's still happening.
Because it kind of worries me when I look at 2030, it sounds like it's 1,000,000 years away, but it's 6 years away. And the last 6 years went by like in 10 minutes.
Oh,
So
past 20 years went by in 10 minutes. I don't want to get into the semantics of this at this meeting, because we're probably not ready to talk about it. But the whole purpose of sewer was we did the commercial first, and we required anybody who new building
Right.
to have septic tanks. And then as we get close to certain residences, then we'll be able to require people to hook on. And it's a really heavy lift because it's not cheap.
It's not.
And we're gonna have to pass some of this money on to the homeowners. So I always said my biggest fear was that my septic tank would fail 2 years before I could hook on to sewer.
Oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
So, I think the time is right. We've got the spine done, right, Parker?
Yes.
And now the spine was,
Like a main trunk.
the commercial all the way down 50.
Okay.
And now the time is right for us to start looking at how we do this. And we've had many conversations about this at the commission table.
Right.
But we're trying to figure out, because, we did, how many, was that 50 homes, Parker, that we did? Didn't we do 50 homes
We did
grant
50 connections with the septic.
on a grant? And so I think the time is right for us to really start looking hard at how we do this. Winter's Landing does have an issue. And when people say that they were told they would have septic, that wasn't by us. That was,
I know, and I read,
that was the developer.
I don't believe that stuff, and I understand how that works, and I absolutely believe the developer probably did tell them that, because I know developers, but
what not?
in any case, I just wanted to know that there was something happening with that, because so that's probably one of the top issues that this commission should be thinking about.
Well, and that's why, for all these years, we've been going to the state of Florida and getting millions of dollars to be able to do this project. And this year, we're asking for alternative water again, another 600,000. But it's very hard to get funding for individual homes. But this is going to be a top priority for sure in the coming years, because we have to, because of the environment, because of the views, we're going to have to get off. But I really have a concern about us doing it in the least painful way for.
It's gonna have to be paid for, and unfortunately, it's gonna have to be paid for over time, and the taxes broken up over a certain years.
Yeah.
Assessment, it's just an assessment.
Other.
Right.
But
And you do have that wrestle over if your system is going to fail and you're gonna spend $10,000 to $15,000, the $6,000 or $7,000 to hook up, which I think is about what it was, Mike, right? Something like that. Is a lot less than that anyway, so.
Right. Well, I think it's important because of the
Yeah, it is.
environment, because we all know that. But I did just kind of want to talk about it because I'm one of those people that I put yeast in my septic system once a month and I do everything I can to baby it. Because I don't want that to happen.
It has been a top priority, not.
Yeah, no, I know we talked about it.
Yeah, this is a 10-year project.
Commissioner here the last 9 years, the first few years going around the state talking to other elected officials.
Right.
What was new in Oakland? We talked about what? Sewers. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking,
That's all we talked about.
Stephen, I don't think Windermere's even thought about it.
Well,
They got a lot of things to think about.
a lot. But anyway,
But anyway, yes.
that's all I have. And thank you very much. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to come in here and speak. So many people, because I read these sites like, pretty frequently.
So do I.
People always say, what can we do to get involved, whatever. So I just go to the meetings. If you don't have it, so what? Go sit in the meeting. Because the benefit of living in a small town, no matter who's on this council, who's on this board, and who will be in the future, we have the opportunity as a small town to talk with you all easier than if I'm in Orlando or some big town. So if people will just come and
That's the beauty of it.
of you,
Of it.
but people don't.
You know, it's like I saw John and Maxine and they were like, we want to talk about the roads. Come on,
Come on down.
come on down.
And I'm gonna make it try to have something to, I'm gonna look around the town and find stuff to talk about, so.
You know what, Donna, I believe you.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not bad. I mean, just like with the post office stuff, if there's something, a project that needs to be worked on, just let me know.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be happy to.
Donna.
Thanks, Donna. All right, do we have anybody else? We have, you guys are,
Bye, guys.
thank you. It's good to see you. See you. All right,
Okay, bring some examples. Scott Wren, 305 Edge Grove. This is also about the topic of the dust on the roads. Living on the west side of Edge Grove, we have easterly prevailing winds. The driveway, the porch, the house, the cars, everything is constantly covered in dust. The dump trucks run up on that down our road twice as many times as the two side roads because they leave from that one.
What street, I'm sorry?
305 Edge Grove.
Edge
behind Southern Oaks.
So I know our town loves our dirt roads. But Edge Grove and the roads around it are not dirt. That's the trouble. John brought up health effects. It doesn't take long to find health effects and health problems due to gravel roads. And the other side of that is concrete. So one of the toppings that were done on our road the last time the town was out.
Yeah, showing.
This is metal, 6x6 metal mesh that goes into concrete when it's poured in the ground and foundation. The town's using recycled material. I don't know where they get it from, but there's about a dozen pieces of metal that can easily punch tires, and this was in about a 50-foot section in front of our house. After noticing that, we kept looking on the road. This is a bag of PVC pipe, obviously drainage tiles, commercial tiles, and ceramic tiles that were also in this mix of stuff that was on our dirt roads, which they're not. So continuing to look, basically this is large chunks of concrete that have been crushed down to make it look like stone. The cars drive over this, crush it into a powder, and that's what we're breathing is concrete dust. That's, pavers out of people's yards that are crushed up along with the rest of the concrete. Silica dust, the silica in the dust is probably the worst thing that can get into people's lungs. And I feel bad for the guy in the back of the garbage trucks when they're running up and down our streets because they're buried in them. the yard waste guys change their schedule, so they come early in the morning when the dew's out. So I think last year we had 2 months where there were 2 days of rain. So there are many mitigation techniques that are out there for this. Magnesium chloride, calcium chloride can be applied to the road in a water mixture, and it lasts for weeks. So
Okay, well,
we need to work on the dust.
we have committed to that, so
I appreciate
come.
that.
And thank you.
Thank you for the show and.
Do I,
Yeah, no problem.
do you want to take that,
Record, can we take pictures?
you want to take that home or can you leave it with us?
Leave it with us after the meeting. I'll see you.
Okay. Anybody else? Jeez, this is unusual.
I live on.
Yeah, anyway, so I know about all the dust, there's 6 children that live right behind me that are under the age of 5. So these kids are breathing all this dust all the time, and I think there's more children than that further down. But when we first moved here, like Scott said, they were dirt roads, kind of a clay. Didn't produce as much dust, but now, since we got limestone, we have all this increased traffic, UPS, FedEx, Kroger, Amazon, food deliveries, and all the people that are cutting through now, since we are open up to the Oakland Park. So we're getting a lot more traffic and a lot more dust. So if I'm out back and I see a truck coming, close the garage, probably go inside. I usually just, but it's getting really bad.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
it's not dirt. Is it dirt on the bit when you go over by Spear Park where
Yeah.
used to live? That's still dirt, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I don't think they get it as bad, but anyway. Just makes,
We will address it
okay.
to come. Okay. We warn ourselves out a bit.
Go ahead, make him say it. Make him say it. Why are we taking any break? Oh.
Hi. That was actually very invigorating. I like that. Consent agenda. We have anything we want to discuss or do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any questions or comments from the table? Do we have any questions or comments from the audience? Get back to the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we're moving on to ordinance 2024-01.
I can read it. Second public hearing for ordinance 2020-01, an ordinance of the town of Oakland. Community section 62-89, 62-90, 62-91, 62-92, 62-93, and 62-94 of Article 4, golf carts of Chapter 62 and vehicles of the Code of Ordinances of the town of Oakland, Florida, providing for the approval of golf cart operation on town roadways by resolution, providing for the procedures for consideration and approval of communities and roadways, requiring golf carts to be equipped with certain equipment and safety devices, and removing previous restrictions on golf cart modifications, providing for the hours of operation of golf carts on town roadways, providing for limitations on drivers of golf carts, providing for compliance with traffic laws, restrictions on golf cart use and enforcement, and providing for codification, conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Awesome. Who's taking this one?
Second reading, so I know we have questions.
We pondered this at our last meeting. Do we have any further questions or comments at the table, or otherwise I need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-01.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, You're back to the table, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2024-02. I don't need to read resolutions, okay? So I don't have a copy of it in front of me. Who wants to take this? Andy?
Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay, Chief.
Resolution.
Resolution 24-02.
I could probably, you want me to go? Yeah, I don't have a copy.
Yeah, resolution 2024-02. This resolution adopts boundary limits map in conjunction with the ordinance that was just passed by the commission regarding the use of golf carts. It designates the streets and roadways upon which the golf carts may be operated within the town of Oakland. So you have a boundary map there that shows the streets where golf carts may be operated. And this is in conjunction with ordinance 2024-01. So it just basically shows which streets the golf carts are able to operate on.
And we're gonna,
And then it also identifies the crossings on Oakland Avenue.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna communicate this broadly.
Yes. Jessica's gonna handle the town of the meeting. We're gonna do one with the police department as well. We're also, we'll have it on flyer too. Well, the main thing is Oakland Avenue. And no area is traveled on Oakland Avenue legal. It's a big red line across the map. There are 3 designated crossings which were previously approved. Pollard, Community Landing. We can cross from north to south, by further on across Oakland Avenue. And I travel on Oakland Avenue.
Or can they travel on the,
You don't have a word that I don't go to.
I know it's Orange counties, but they are not allowed on there.
Right.
All right. Do you have any questions?
I have a comment. Can we add in the future, signage like they have in the park where the golf cart starts and where it finishes, allow?
Yes, I met with the route. I met with Parker last week and there are some existing signs that we like. We'll order more and place them out of town. We're just trying to figure out how to get around the confusion and we place them on Oakland Avenue so people understand that it's not the same people, but the name of all the cities north and south. That are identified on that. But yeah, it's not needed.
Any other questions?
When will the stop times be going up? Pollard and,
I'm gonna defer to the gentleman from Public Works.
Yeah, so with all of the hoorah about this 3-way stop out here at Ball Island Drive, we've had some issues with sight lines and things like that. We've got another, and believe it or not, these are absolutely approved by DOT. They meet all specs, all standards. It's just some people aren't paying attention. That's, basically the bottom line there. People aren't paying attention. But we've got a flashing stop sign now that is on order. We'll put it out there in a bit. It's not so glaring. It's not obtrusive to people. Then we're going to put that at the other stops. And then I would say probably within a month it'll be ready. Maybe had trouble with that for a second. There's been one accident that I'm super,
Two on the same day.
but it's just used to drive.
Tell you that there is something about the spatial distance of it where you're just like, it's not in your line of sight. That if now it's coming, but before then I was like, I felt like it was over by the bridge on the one side coming into town and the other side, I felt like it was in the other neighborhood. It just feels far.
Going to west, it's
Yeah.
one lane over,
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
Yep.
And then the other thing that's coming from my opinion is that I've actually personally almost rear-ended somebody a couple times at the light pedestrian stop, because now they were like, oh, there's a stop, and now there's another stop, so they're stopping midstream, and you're behind them, and you're like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to stop. It's probably happened almost every day on my way either to work or home. I'm 2 seconds behind.
Using there, if you look on the pavement, it just says stop.
Stop.
We need to add where it says stop for pets.
Yeah.
So that should clear it up, that people understand. I only have to stop for pedestrians, it's not a stop for.
Yeah.
I drove through this morning, expecting, I mean, it's every day. But it's, if we just clear that up, it's not for pedestrians, that, I think that should clear.
Okay.
Okay.
We can try it.
All right, any other questions at the table?
The question, but talking about.
It's at the table. We got to get a motion out before audience. And I'll be happy to. So I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-02.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions from the audience?
I was just speaking about the talk about the golf carts not driving on 50. As if the town, it would be good probably to make a distinction to the residents about the approved electric vehicles that are street legal, that have license and insurance on them, that can drive on 50, I believe, because of the speed limit.
Not, are you talking Oakland Avenue or 50?
Oakland Avenue.
Oakland Avenue. And
None of this.
would you like to address that, Chief?
Sure, yes, there's a huge difference between a low speed vehicle and a golf cart.
Right.
This ordinance, all this, everything pertains to golf cart.
Right.
Low speed vehicles are different, you have to comply by the law.
Right.
Low speed vehicles are allowed on Oakland Avenue.
Right. But I'm saying a lot of low speed vehicles look like golf carts, and I think townspeople who own golf carts are just gonna.
Correct.
That
And some people have modified their golf cart to be what they think are low speed vehicles. I encourage everybody to just do the homework or just come to the police department. I have it for people. The exact specification, if you're gonna modify a golf cart to make it a low speed vehicle, it's very, very strict.
Right.
And people are selling their product as low speed vehicles, but they're not. And then every low speed vehicle will come with a certification.
Right.
That is certified by the manufacturer. If you have that, you can register, and people think that if they register their golf cart, it's all of a sudden a low speed vehicle. That's false. You can register a ham sandwich, they'll take your money. But to register a official low speed vehicle, you gotta bring that certification. And it'll show up, like when we run the tag, it'll show up as a low speed vehicle, if not, it'll show up as a golf cart. But people are being, I think people are being taken advantage of by
They are.
companies.
They are not being told exactly how it works.
All the information in my office, I'll be glad to provide it to any resident, and they can take it to somebody who's gonna make the modification to make sure it fits within the actual specifications of an LSV. And then it's a non-issue.
So Chief, right now it's just a suggestion for them to come, check them out at the police station?
I'm just talking about the literature. I have the literature, people like it. Yeah, there's no requirement. I'm just suggesting if you'd like to make sure that you don't get taken advantage of, I'll give you the pamphlet, or you can just online. It's all available online. DOT has really good information regarding the differences between LSVs and golf carts, and what is required. So, but if somebody doesn't, can't find it or something like that, just come on down to the PD. I have it on my computer. I'll print it for you. I'll even print it in color.
We got roads to fix.
You can print my hand.
Is there a way we can make a requirement for anybody who has a golf cart to go to the police station and get it certified with a, I don't know, the little Oakland sticker? It says we walk you through it.
To the town attorney on that, we can discuss that.
We discussed that. Unfortunately, the state statute defines what is a low-speed vehicle, and I can check again to make sure that it's still the same, but last year when I looked at the statute and local governments are preempted from adding additional restrictions as to what is defined.
Not necessarily add more restrictions, but check that they meet the requirements. before they drive them.
I believe.
Seatbelts and so forth.
Yes, in my legal opinion, the requirement for that inspection would be treated as essentially a different requirement for the low-speed vehicle. And so we could run into preemption issues with state law. We did discuss that though, the chief and I.
And people aren't gonna do it. We used to have a requirement
That was one of the requirements.
and they never did it.
Was a requirement to come down and register it, because we're technically not allowed to do that.
And
But if people would like to drive by and ask, we'll be glad to look at everything, and by no means are we experts on those vehicles, but we can compare it to what DOT said, we'd be glad to.
Yeah.
Provide even guidance.
Maybe we could put that in post or Jessica can encourage.
Sure. We can encourage people to ask the question.
Go check.
Our firm, I will say, has also assisted municipalities with getting that education piece out there. So we could draft a memo that could be provided to residents who are curious, what are the differences? And it can be broken down in a really easy to understand way.
That'd be good.
That would be great.
Good.
Okay, I can provide that if, all right.
Okay.
The onset of this work, now that it's been approved. That's all lost. What it all lost, education not important. But if you do stop people, it's to educate. There will be, no financial penalty. Okay, right now, it's by education.
Okay.
6 months from now, I can't.
I was gonna say right now is your opportunity.
We heard right now.
We have a motion and a second.
That's where we are with motion and a second. Anybody else in the audience?
I just have one question.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate between there's like a way to load the vehicle versus a golf cart? How do you do all the differentiation? By visual.
The easiest way, like on Heritage Day, I went down the road, I saw, the easiest way is the DOT stamp on the front of the glass. That's the first step.
And if it had the DOT stamp, it would be a low speed vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of them don't have it. That's just the first step. There's plenty of other things with that, for visually, that's the best way to do it.
Okay. Back to the table. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Andy, you got anything?
Yeah, good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the town commission. Last 2 weeks ago, Commissioner McMullen and myself went to Tallahassee to gain support for the town's appropriation requests for another sewer to septic project in the amount of $650,000. Commissioner McMullen represented the town well. He's well connected there in Tallahassee. He goes there. I think he even went to school there. So he represented the town well, and the town's project was well received by the state legislature. So we're hopeful that funding will get into the state budget and get before the governor for approval. But we won't know anything quite yet. But if we hear any news, we'll keep you posted. Our Public Works Director, Mike Parker, he's been instrumental in our town's water and sewer, building that from the ground up. So this was something that he felt would be good for the town. And it would connect about 17 additional properties to our sewer system, including the town facilities here. So just like to thank Commissioner McMullen for supporting the town there and representing the town in Tallahassee. Also, we have on this Thursday, February 15th, HAPCO will be sponsoring the Harriet Tubman exhibit there at the Cultural Center. There will be a speaker there, and there's also you can get in and check out some of the artwork that's there with that. So we invite the public to attend, and that would be from 6 to 8 on Thursday, February 15th, this Thursday. Town offices will be closed on Monday, February 19th, in observance of President's Day. Then I would like to just let the general public know that my office is, the doors are always open in my office if there's any issues in town or anything that needs to be addressed, little small issues that, come up from time to time at commission meetings. Staff is always here 8 to 5 every day to support everybody here in the town and to take everybody's request and try to make our town a better place to live, work, and play. So just like to let everybody know that they're always welcome into town hall with any issues they may have where the town is able to assist them. That being said, that's all I have this evening.
Awesome. Big pass. Do you have anything?
Not a word.
Pam?
All these years, you got it, Mike.
Pam? Yeah.
Nope, trucking away. Nope, trucking away to school. Tomorrow starts a booster fund fundraiser. Was one of the years, so we're moving along.
Staff.
Well, speaking of live, work, and play, At the Metro Plan this week, I made a motion for the Metro Plan Orlando staff was requesting support for the FDOT's targets for safety, which is part of the Vision Zero. Which is part of the breaking down the death toll and accident toll here in Central Florida. Last year we had 1,400 deaths and injuries. 200 were pedestrian. So basically just continue to support Vision Central Florida, Vision Zero for the deaths. And if you guys, there's a website that they asked us to encourage all the rest of the people who are in the town, the rest of the commissioners and the mayors from all the cities around to go into the web site called visionzerocfl.gov. And you can go in there and check out all the accidents that are happening around the area or deaths or critical injuries. And real easy app to go into and check around the whole entire Orange County, Osceola and Seminole County, including Lake County. But this one's, you can target, you go on Colonia and check what accidents are happening.
Okay.
So, and then the other one is taking over the trails here, the 22nd of February, which we already put there. Take over the Trails Day, which is also part of, awareness and bringing people to the trail. Just wanted to,
Yeah. That was fun last year. I was really good.
so it's gonna be fun.
At the farmer's market, it's really gonna be
Yes,
awesome.
that's all.
Good.
Go.
So two corrections, Commissioner McMullen is just face. They went to Tallahassee, and this really goes back to even when Willie was here. We all went to
We
Tallahassee.
did. Remember we made
Yeah, we stopped.
a cooler full of, we took a cooler full of subs and
Yeah, so this is, so I'm just the face that goes up there to represent us all, and Parker, all the staff is doing a great job. So just want to correct that. I'm just the face that goes along in this.
and I haven't been the last 2 years, but I've been previous that many years.
I just want to bring us back to the beginning. We went and
Yep.
it was in the hospital in Gainesville.
We went and saw Willie in the hospital. Yep.
A long-term project that
I know more years.
working on for a long time to bring in economic development and things of that nature to come in to really help us and the safety of Nicapopka and the homes and help some of these smaller homes that have limited space for a sewer. And then the second part, HAPCO is a co-sponsor for this coming Thursday. Jessica has been doing Jessica and Steph been doing a lion's share. I'm just the person that helped connect it and some sponsorship dollars to the event, along with sponsorship from San Ramos and Empire, just to help us to spread. The goal is bring more arts out here in West Orange County. So I'm just correcting those things. I'm two pieces. I'm helping.
Appreciate the clarification.
That's all I have, man.
All right, first of all, he keeps selling himself short. And he does a phenomenal job up there in Tallahassee and politics for us. Don't sell yourself short, because we appreciate everything you do, and you do a lot.
But I'm just saying, I'm bringing the message. I can't go up there unless Parker and the team.
We'll argue about it later. You
Give
do
us
a
a
good
play.
job. So,
Okay, I'm
just
sorry, I apologize.
we took the 20th anniversary picture with the drone at the school last week. And it turned out really, really cool. It's a very cool picture. So we got our 20th anniversary, and there's been a lot going on with the 20th. So it's just been a very cool year for the school. So very good.
That's the best foot forward. And we're doing it at the same time.
Oh, yeah. And I gotta say, we stood out there with those folks at Best Foot Forward, and they physically just walk out in front of cars. Just to make sure that cars are gonna stop. I had to ask them, I said, I don't know how much they pay you, but that's just not enough, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal what they do. So they'll be back again next week. Yeah. We've been there, remember?
Next Wednesday, they'll be back.
Next Wednesday, they'll be back again. That's all I have.
Well, we had a busy week. We did the West Orange Chamber Gala. Sal and I represented. We went to Joseph's Jazz Fest, which was awesome, in Ocoee. We had a great time there. And or Thursday, I know Andy and I are going with Joseph to the Tri-County League of Cities lunch
Me as well.
in Ocoee.
So. That's cool.
So,
Nice.
are you going too?
Mhm.
Awesome. Good, good. So we've had, quite a good time this week. I don't know what else is coming, 22, so then we have Harriet Tubman. And then we have Take Over the Trails and the Farmers Market. So, more to come.
Other than that, anything happening?
That's it. So, do we have anything else? All right.
Well, if all hearts and minds are satisfied, let's adjourn. It is now 8:16.
This change.
8:16.
Stephanie, I have the concert of the century.